Welcome back to another video, guys. Firstly, just want to say a big thanks to everyone that watched the last one. I was definitely not expecting to get the views I got on that one, so pretty stoked with that. So shout out to everyone that watched it, shout out to the few that liked it and all the new subs I got. So yeah, pretty stoked and thrilled. I just started doing these videos just to for a bit of fun and a bit of confidence, boost the confidence, you know, talking and shit. So pretty fucking over the moon about the last video. So yeah, I have to apologise for this video though, because it's probably not going to be as exciting as, you know, full action drifting. But there's a few events coming up soon that I'm going to go to, not to drive, just to film. So which will be drifting as well. So hopefully I can keep you the entertainment there as well, and in the meantime just show you what I've been doing on the Sylvia and any other odd jobs I get around the place. So yeah, what's coming up actually, we've got Naki Drift coming up end of March, so probably about 5 weeks away. So there's that, a couple of the boys are in that, so hopefully I can mosey around a few of them and maybe get the GoPro on the cars and shit and get some footage there, do a bit of a vid on that. And then, as most of you probably know, LZ Fest is coming in May. So we're going to be going to that as well, and hopefully, I don't know, it must be a 2-day event, that one, eh? Maybe we'll do like a part 1, part 2 on that, and hopefully get heaps of footage. I doubt I'm going to get any on footage of like on some cars, but can always ask, eh? See what goes on. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to have to bore you with just some s15 progress. I think I left you guys last time with just mounting that new cooler I got, the power steering cooler. I ended up finishing the reservoir, which I've mounted down here on a little bracket, as you can see. And then I also relocated the oil filter, relocation right here. Made some lines up and shit. This here line is not what I thought it was going to be, so I've got a 120-degree fitting, so it should angle that hose like down and be in line with this other one. So it should go like that, and better follow it, and I better tie them sort of together, make it look a bit tidier than that big ugly thing sitting right up there. But yeah, that I moved those on the inside, so any damage to the outside, you know, you're not getting your filter lines, the reservoir, anything like that damaged in case of emergencies. Yeah, I also moved me oil feed to the turbo. I used to have it coming out of the sandwich plate, because this is a GE block, 2J GE block, so it hasn't got the oil feed and the other side, so I just used to take it out of the here. But with this one on this side now and here, I was a little bit worried about the belt like flying off one day and like taking the line out, because it's only a small line, and I was worried about the speed. If you're on limit and the belt breaks or something and it flies off, just collects your fucking oil feed to the turbo, it's going to be a nice little mess. So I ended up taking the original sensor out of the block there and just putting a adapter and a feed in. Now this is straight from the oil pump, because the oil pump pumps it straight out of the gallery down this port and then into the filter, so it's before the filter. So I may have to run a inline filter, some sort of inline filter in the turbo feed, just so it's getting filtered oil, because yeah, otherwise it's gonna be straight out of the fucking pickup. But the oil's generally kept clean in this anyway, like it's never filthy, like you don't run it fucking 10,000 k's like a regular car. So I'll look into getting some sort of inline filter for it, just to be safe. So yeah, that's that. I cut the floor out the other day. So that's a nice mess that I gotta fucking clean up. As you guys probably know, I mentioned I sold the HGT that I had. So I had no gearbox. Oh, I got this gearbox with the deal, sorry. So I wanted to make a new tunnel, because the old one I had, I never really liked it, because I sort of rushed it the whole car was rushed when I first made it, just to get it to a Mat Zeri, so everything sort of was in the back of my mind about how much I don't like it, and I'm a little bit, I don't know, not perfectionist or OCD or anything, but it niggles in the back saying fix that. So I cut the tunnel out and I'm going to make a new one. I'll make it a bit bigger and a bit wider because I want to run the radiator lines outside the car now. I put them in the inside for the starters because I wasn't that confident of a driver when I first made the car, so I was always scared about like hitting ripple strips or going into the sand trap and shit and like tearing the radiator lines up and then having a leak and then being out for the day. So I ended up putting them in the car when I first made it to stop that. But I think I'm pretty competent now driving wise, so I'm still not going to run them under the car, but I wanted to run them in the side of the tunnel. So I wanted to make the tunnel wider and then run the lines up in the side of the tunnel past the gearbox and past the drive shaft. That's why I want to make it a little bit wider. So that's the plan for that, but whether or not I do that straight away or do it a little bit later, because I really want to get the car just usable so I can do events. I want to get the cage isn't homologated yet, so I need to still do that. So once I get that sorted and the car usable, I can fucking like even do car club events and shit, like little street sprints and stuff, so that'll be fun just to be able to use it. So yeah, that's that. I'll get some steel and if at the end of the week and knock the tunnel out. Hopefully it's not too bad. I've probably cut a lot out, but I'm probably going to go right back and just do a whole, like, delete this fucking hump that's in the floors there, Sylvia's, for the where the old cat, oh not cat, I think they ran a cat, like the muffler and shit ran in that little recess there, so I want to cut that out and have it flat like Cole's car has been done. See, he hasn't got it, like they've made the floor down in that corner there, or they've made that piece to replace it. So yeah, I want to copy that and do that. So yeah, but for this video I'm probably not going to be doing that. Well, maybe, depends how long it goes for. I don't want to bore you guys for too long with a fucking half-an-hour video of just potting around, but I'm sort of already doing that by talking a lot. So I'm going to be doing some intercooler piping for now because I got a donut the other day, today actually, not the other day. I got a nice tight donut. I bought one the other day, but it was like a long radius donut, and it was no different than just buying a bend. It was pretty much the donut was pretty much like this size, so it kind of defeats the purpose of having a donut for a tight bend. So I'll put the manifold back on the car. I've already got 1 or 2 pipes cut out to go to the intercooler. I think this one's one of them. So the donut's just gonna, I'll cut a 90 in the donut, and then it'll just be a nice tight bend right here, and it's going to go bink, bink, straight into the intake, and that's that side done. And then the other side, I don't know if I'm going to do it yet, because I kind of want to buy another turbo, like a smaller one, because with the HGT gone, I'm going to have to dial the power back in this car to not blow an R154, so yeah, we can't really run like 700 horse through a fucking R154, I don't think, aggressively anyway. I think they, oh, not too bad if you're gentle, but I'm not going to risk it. So yeah, we'll dial the power back, which means probably have to go small turbo, so I probably won't make that side just yet. We'll make this side though. So yeah, that's about it for me. I'm just going to crack onto it and show you what I come up with. This is my new donut. As you can see, it's nice and tight, mate, tight. The old one I brought a cheaper one because I was being a cheap bastard. I was like, I'm gonna get this one because it's like $40 compared to like everything else that was over 100. And I learnt my lesson of doing that, because the one I brought, they had I don't know how they make these, but I'm sure they must, wow, it looks spun to me, like you put it in a lathe somehow and spin it with one of those tools and sort of bend it. Either that, or it's like a flat piece originally and they have like a die that pushes in and shapes it. I don't actually know the fucking process of how they make these, but anyway, aside from that, the one that I got had grind marks right around the edge where they'd like try to clean it up. It must have like burrs or whatever, and they like ground them out with a grinding wheel, which I don't know if most of you know, for aluminium, as soon as you put impurities into it, it just welds like shit. So yeah, I tried to make do with it, but it didn't weld, so I was like, bit the bullet and bought a better one. So this one here, obviously, nice clean edge, so it'll just come up nice with a bit of a wire brush and a bit of acetone. Clean up real good and weld, hopefully good. I haven't welded aluminium in a little while, so hopefully I haven't lost my touch. But yeah, as you can see, if it was a 90 there, it's going to come up real tight, so I will have to somehow cut this nice and straight. I might go bandsaw it. So 2 seconds cooler. What do you guys reckon this as well? I had a thought for the intercooler. You know, most people put something in there like a brand. I thought about painting that red, obviously, for a YouTube button, and then having the handle down there. But then I wanted to change the handle a little bit. I don't know if I should just have changed my handle to just my name rather than having S15 at the end, because I mean, what if I don't have the S15 one day and my channel's still Jesse Luff S15? But who knows? I kind of wanted to rebrand it as something else, but for now, maybe this will do. I can always turn the intercooler around and redo it on the other side if it doesn't turn out. So yeah, what do you reckon? Alright, I put my sweet ass intake back on. I've got the motor sitting here pretty level with the chassis. I've got it propped up on this. I had it on the jack and I set it to like, I think I put a level on there, a digital level on the chassis rail as it was sitting now. It's probably not how accurate because of how it's sitting, but I try to match the chassis rail with the motor so they're pretty much, you know, within cooey. So that's about where the pipe's going to want to be anyway. I don't think it's going to matter like a couple of degrees back and forth for a pipe because it'll move in the joiners anyway. I could try to keep the angle nice for the drive shaft to go to the diff without it being too cockeyed. I think it all works out nice anyway, but yeah, it still looks a bit weird when the motor was fucking all cockeyed. It used to be, I fixed it recently, but it used to be like sagged down in the front corner here because that mount collapsed a little bit, so I had to make a new like I had to make a new fucking whole mount for that side to sort it out. So what up, boys? Get him. So yeah, now it's nice and central and like sitting. Oi, fuck, that's enough. Now it's sitting quite nice. So yeah, this pipe should work out pretty good. Alright, that's a top pipe piece I'd come up with. It's just a 45. I've sort of cut it there. I've got this welded or tacked together, sorry. So that's going to be like yay. I'll probably have to put a piece on it and sit it in there, and then I can get that length there out of that pipe there. So what I'll do is I'll cut like 50mm off of that straight there, swage it, tack it on here, then I can stick it in there and sit it so it's nice and square. And then hopefully, well, see if we can fucking actually just pop it in there just a little bit, just to grab the end of it, then it might make it a bit easier. Bear with me. Alright, I got that sort of just sitting in there, the rubber's just holding the end of it, so it'll be pretty much where it sits anyway. So I have to figure out how long to cut this, but I think what I might do is just eyeball it, join it up there, and then sort of mark it in line with the pipe and just go cut it, because what I'll do is I'll leave it a little bit longer, because this here is only sitting in like 40mm. It's probably got like yay much of travel. It can actually go right in if it needs to be, and I don't think this little blade will hit it. So we've got a little bit of back and forth movement that way, so I don't think me cutting this a little bit longer is going to be of any like downfall. So I will give it a rough measurement, cut it, and then we'll just tack it all up and then see how it all fits. Is this thing on? Alright guys, I have got my pieces to the puzzle. So I've gone and swaged the intake end, and I've swaged just a short piece that I'll weld to that this thingy. It's not going to be on there, but just look cool there. So that. So hopefully with these 4 pieces just go matte and work good. Alright, I got the end welded onto there so I can sit that in there nicely, and if I'm any good, this piece here should almost fit in there. We're pretty close. I think that needs to go on a little bit further. If we go that, Oh, that is not the correct way. I am not a fabricator, apparently. A little bit of a twist on that, and that's going to go pretty much straight in there. That is perler, mate. What do you reckon? The tried and true double marks, so you can take it off and weld it on the bench. Right, we've got this piece tacked onto here, and it's just this piece here that needs to be joined. It's probably a little bit too high, as you can see on the joiner. It doesn't come out like straight. Well, it might be the joiner that's crooked actually. Maybe if we put the joiner like that and then twist it in there, it might be better. Maybe I was seeing things. Maybe it is correct. Alright, it wasn't really that off. It was just a silicone joiner kicked over from when I was tooling with it that made it look funky. But I've got it tacked in there. Pretty sweet, nice and short. So I'll pull that out, fully weld it. Alright boys and girls, we got to weld it up. So we have an actual pipe now. Welding wasn't too bad for not doing it in a little while, I suppose. That one there on the edge turned out pretty nice. But yeah, that's that pipe done. Aside from, I had to probably put the intake temp sensor in there, and maybe I had to get a blow valve actually, so I had to weld a blow valve port on here as well. Whether or not I run one actually, I've been contemplating whether or not I actually run one, but I don't think I'll need anything else. Maybe well, I'm not going to run the idle valve anymore either. I'm going to fuck that off and just have it idle through the like a screw on the throttle body. The my idle valve was playing up last time, so I'm just going to fuck it off. But yeah, sweet. Alright, I made a start on this side. I just got the donut welded with the end on it flared. So, because I'm still undecided on what the turbo situation is going to be, I might leave it there for the piping just until I sort that out or decide what I'm doing. So let's carry on with some other shit on the car. I don't know what's next. Kind of just minor little jobs. Like my throttle body needs a spring system on it, because it's I've modified it, because you know these big Chinese throttle bodies are gross looking. I've like milled it and gave it a bit more of a sleeker look and recessed these bolts and shit, and I moved this in further without realizing that the spring sits in there to let it snap back. So I have to come up with some sort of spring. Whether or not, I don't know if I trust like a regular I bought one of these, like a regular spring, but I don't know if I trust it because it's a lot of fucking revving if it breaks and you get stuck down. You can just switch the car off obviously, but yeah, I'll see if we can actually buy, because this is the original spring, like this shit, but I can't really get it in there because it fucking needs like the plastic guide and shit to fucking stop it from binding on the shaft and whatnot. So I want to fix that. I have to come up with something for that, to make some stuff on the mill for the TPS for the throttle body as well, so I can plug that back in. What I might do though for the meantime is I'm going to get some steel for the tunnel tomorrow, so hopefully I can chunk out a decent whack out a decent chunk of like tunnel tomorrow. And I want to get my idler sorted for in there. I found this thing at work. It's like an idler off some motor we had sitting around, but I think if I take the idler off here, this one's small enough to sit in there, and what I was going to do is mill up like a piece of alley circle. Well, I've actually already got a piece of fucking circle somewhere, like something like this, maybe smaller, and then offset the hole, so then I can wrench on it and it'll roll around into the belt and tension it. So I'm hoping that works out, so I might get on with that as well, but I don't know, I'll decide it tomorrow when I come back out. Alright squad, I ended up getting some 1.2mm panel steel, well, it's going to call it panel steel, 1.2mm steel anyway, to do this tunnel here. So I was going to give it a quick measure up and probably cut it out and go down to work and fold it and probably swage it there as well, because we've got a swager. So I basically got a measurement taken. I'm going to probably do this part as well back to here, like chop it through here and make this piece as well, just to get rid of this hump. So a lot of it will be gone. So what was that spider? Yeah, I opted, I think you can get away with like 0.8 steel in here, but just because it's going to support the transmission and because a lot of the floor is going to be missing with how much I'm going to cut out, I think the 1.2 is going to be a bit more sturdier, and then the swaging and it's going to give it a bit of strength too, so I'm going to opt for that. So basically how it is, those corners up there, I'm just going to go from that corner and that corner over there, just measure straight down to about here, and then measure the depth down to probably the floor, and then just like draw it out on a big wide sheet, and then we'll give it a bend and make sure it fits. And then after that's done, probably see if we can put some swages in it. Might have to swage it before bending it, because once it's bent up we probably won't get the swages in the top. So yeah, it's going to be quite a new experience of bending up some steel. Alright guys, I got my camera back. This is so what I've got so far with the tunnel. I've got it tacked in up there, just past the firewall a little bit, and sort of the level I want it to be. I might have to dip the trans just a little bit more, because the motor actually sits pretty flat, I think. You see it? I'll probably drop the motor back a little bit, another degree or so, and that way I can drop that into that shifter away from the tunnel, so it can sit pretty much in like the same height as the factory one. I'm going to make a new section here back anyway, but I want it to be the factory height. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to Sharpie like around the lip, like around the edge there, Sharpie that right around, and then the bits that are excessive, like in the how it drops down in there, I'll cut like 10mm, follow the Sharpie line but 10mm over, and cut it like that, and then tri-fold it. The shape, what's my fucking phone on? The shape of the firewall like here is going to be a little bit weird, so I might have to cut it in places and then just fold it in like sections. So like that'll be a fold there on that straight, and then I have a cut, and then it will fold on the angle down there. So I'll go around and give it a mark up roughly about where it wants to be folded, trim it to suit, and then fold it up, and then hopefully it fits up nicely, and then I'll just about to weld it along the new fold, along the firewall, and then can seam seal it all and shit, and look pretty tidy, I think. So yeah, turned out not too bad. Doesn't look so bad in the car once it's fucking all meshed in with everything, with those little dents and stuff, so I won't worry about them. Alright, this is the tunnel all bent over on the ends there, so now we've got nice flanges to weld straight to the firewall. So I've cleaned it up mostly. I haven't cleaned the top up. I'm going to have to pull the motor out at some point and finish welding the top up, but I just want to get it sort of together now so I can get it tuned and shit. So I'll pull the motor out afterwards and weld it, and then like repaint the engine bay sort of thing. So I'll weld most of it for now, and it should be sweet for the interim. Alright, I got this much more of the floor cut out, so all the way back to there. What was the deal here? I didn't really want to cut all the way back to the flat, just in case. Like I don't want to go all the way back to here and butt it up, because there's a couple of like it looks like there's some steel that's spotted welded to the floor across the bottom there. Must be for some added strength. So I've left this section just for the strength side of it, just to keep this back all nice and tight. So I'm just going to make another C channel to fill in here, so it's a little bit wider here, and it narrows down to like 160 or something here. So I should better bend that up, and I'll just probably put some bigger feet on it down this end, maybe like 50mm tags just to weld to, and should go down there pretty sweet. I have to trim this up to suit because it's just a bit raised where the hump used to be. Same with this side, it's still got the raised lips from the floor, so if I cut that back a little bit extra, I'll just have to get rid of the seat rails and make some new ones. So yeah, I'll go down to work and cut some steel up. I've already got it measured up on my very accurate bit of paper there. Probably put some similar fucking swaging in it. I don't know, maybe I'll fucking, nah, maybe just fucking, I don't know, I'll decide when I'm down there. Well, I think I added those in the side of it too, those little extra ones, so give it a bit more. So yeah, once that's in there intact, I can just make a little floor piece here to cover that in. One little one for the other side. Tidy it all up, make it look sweet. Then I'll add some seat rails in, and then once the seat rails are in, and I'll probably just weld some, like what I've done here, some beams to the floor for the L brackets to bolt to. And then what I might do, just to add some strength, is I may put like similar to a drive shaft hoop, but I might try attach it to where the underside of the floor is, where the rails are going to be bolted, and try brace across as well under the drive shaft, so it acts as a hoop and a bit of strength like this way, because I believe I've cut out quite a bit of the strengthening through the middle there, because I think the seat rails, since they're like this both sides normally, and they like attach to the tunnel, and across the middle of the tunnel there's like a nice bit of folded like pressed fucking steel as well that acts as a bit of a brace. It's quite solid, so I want to try to retain some sort of strength through the middle, so I'll probably come up with something like that. But yeah, for now I will go and make that piece up. I have my picture templated out in here. I've got some designs in here just for swaging, so much like the other one, just a couple of recesses in the middle and then whatever these things are on the side. So yeah, I'll get to swaging that, and hopefully I'm a lot better at it now the second time around. Alright, the swaging turned out a lot better the second time around on this piece. So I think it's because it's a smaller bit. It was easier to maneuver, and there wasn't a lot of weight hanging off the end of the swager, so I got some of the turns pretty cool, I think, pretty nice. So getting better. Sick. I'll fold this up and take it home. Right, she's all bent up. So I'll try to put this design in the back of it. It's a multi-flag, so I was trying to swage it, get funky with the swage. It's a bit hard to do, so, but you know, it's at the back behind the seat, so it's not like right in your face fucking poor workmanship sort of thing. So I think I'll put some paint on it, make it fucking red and black, and it will look pretty fucking churmudgy. Alright guys, I fucking redone the tunnel. The old one I made, this one here, I've just bent it and it had a flat edge, and I should have actually had an extra piece on the end here because of the way the old one angled after it was cut, if you get me. 2 seconds cooler. Yeah, how the old one was angled. So what I've done is just made another one and added some extra on the measurements so it can line up and be welded like that. So yeah, I've done that instead. I've still kept my design in the middle there instead of at the back, because I had it on the back on this one. So yeah, but for now I actually thought this was gonna take not that long and I'd be able to do it in one video, but it's actually dragging on quite a lot, and yeah, I don't want to fucking waste another week doing it and then have a delayed video. So I'm gonna stop this one here as a part 1 for the tunnel and the intercooler pipe kind of. The manifold might be going this weekend, so I might have to make another manifold too now, so that's glorious, but I wanted to do that anyway. So yeah, I'll wrap it up for now for you guys, and I'll catch you guys again in the next one, and we'll carry on possibly with it. Or what's the date today? We might get a video out on the car before back beach drifting, but if not, the next video will probably be the drifting there. So either or, you guys will be informed anyway. I'll probably put some shorts up. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching this one. I hope it was as exciting as my last video. That's racking up some views even of now. I'm pretty impressed with it, really. So hopefully we can repeat that on at least another video in future. So yeah, like the video please, because this seems to help out sub as well if you're not subbed. I had a lot of views on the last video, and we still gained a decent amount of subs. I think we gained like 70 subs, but I'd like more. Let's go, let's push it up boys. So yeah, cheers anyway, we will catch the next one and get this fucking S15 finished. Fuck.